Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. I seek refuge in Allah from shaitan, the discursed. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. My Lord, expand for me my breast with assurance and ease for me my task, and untie the knot from my tongue, that they may understand my speech. Rabbi zidni ilma, O Allah, increase me in knowledge. Allahumma faqihna fid deen, O Allah, grant me the understanding of deen. Ameen, Ya Rabbil Alameen. How are you all? Hope you are all well. I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeps you all safe and sound and bless you with health and peace. Ameen, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Our topic for today is fasting in the light of Quran. Fasting is one of the 5 obligations in Islam. Fasting was prescribed in earlier nations as well. The aim of fasting is to provide training on staying away from sins and following the righteous path. Fasting develops spiritual strength, patience, and forbearance in a person, and this is how one learns self-control. It is this spiritual strength attained by fasting that also saves one from sinning. It is this self-restraint that helps a person to forgive and tolerate these trivial incidents and teaches one to be patient, since you cannot do a pious deed without patience. Forbearance and patience are also required if you want to be kind to a person in response to you being wronged by him or her. This is the real spiritual strength, and how can someone achieve it? By fasting. In Quran, the purpose of fasting is described as follows. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyamu kama kutiba alal ladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. Surah Al-Baqarah, verse number 183. What is being told here is that when one fasts, one learns to restrain many desires. A person gets hungry and thirsty while fasting. No one is watching him. He can easily eat and drink, but he restrains himself from eating and drinking. This person knows that he is fasting for the sake of his Rabb, and his Rabb is watching him. He expects reward only from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is sincere in his actions. In the state of fasting, some things are forbidden, such as marital relations between husband and wife, not being able to eat and drink even in the state of intense hunger and thirst. To stay away from all this requires strength. As it was mentioned earlier, the spiritual strength. Where is this going to come from? Spiritual strength develops from staying hungry and thirsty. Fasting strengthens the spirit, and it is this spiritual strength that helps a person from committing wrongful acts. As this strength saves a person from committing sins, his or her heart becomes inclined towards righteous deeds. Then he or she develops piety and righteousness. This means that the purpose of fasting is not to keep one hungry and thirsty, but to make him or her pious, as a fasting person must not lie, backbite, and snitch. He must also abstain from fraud, cheating, hoarding, fighting, swearing, ill mannerism, and breaking his promise, so that this fast is not invalidated. This is his training. The effects of this training do not last for the whole year. For this reason, there are other opportunities of fasting, such as fasting in white days, Ayam Bed, Sunnah fasting on Monday and Thursday, and many other fasting opportunities that we shall study later. We should keep these fasts to develop piety, which can assist us to stay away from sins and help us to perform more righteous deeds during the whole year. What is piety? Piety comes from love of Allah. What is the aim of piety? It is awareness of Allah, recognition and love of Allah, so that a person is inclined to do the righteous deeds. he becomes fond of righteous deeds and carries on doing righteous deeds. Similarly, piety is also the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's displeasure. What is the benefit of being fearful? It is that a person would then stop lying, committing fraud, deceiving others, and true to avoid committing sins. One would abstain from such acts as he knows that it would lead to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's displeasure. A pious person is afraid of upsetting Allah. So we can say that how much degree of piety a person develops, that is reflected in his ability to stay away from sins and his inclination toward doing more righteous acts. The more righteous acts one performs, the more piety he develops, and the more piety he develops, the more righteous acts he would perform. Every Muslim who finds the month of Ramadan must fast for the whole month, with the only exception of justifiable excuse. We shall talk about it later. It's a separate issue. A traveler and an ill person may have been exempted from fasting, but they must make up for these fasts after Ramadan. Khada. Allah has made it easy and facilitated fasting for people with justifiable reasons, such as a traveler and an ill person. If a traveler thinks that his or her journey is not that difficult as he or she is traveling by air or in the car, which also is comfortable, and reckons that he or she can fast, then it is at his or her discretion. However, if he or she chooses to fast, he or she can. If he or she does not want to fast, he or she is exempt, but then he or she would have to make up this fast later. Regarding an ill person, if one has an illness that can never be cured, like diabetes, cancer, etc., then one does not have to make up for those fasts. We will talk about what one can do as compensation. An ill person and a traveler do not have to pay compensation because they have a justifiable excuse. An ill person cannot observe fast due to illness, and a traveler due to being in the state of traveling. What he or she must do is to make up for missed fasts when he or she gets better, and a traveler once his or her journey has been completed. The month of Ramadan is the month of special worship and praise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The month of Ramadan, in which was revealed the Quran, a guidance for mankind and clear proofs for the guidance and the criterion between right and wrong. So whoever of you sights the crescent of the first night of the month of Ramadan, he must observe fasting that month. And whoever of is ill or on a journey, the same number must be made up from other days. Allah intends for you ease, and He does not want to make things difficult for you. He wants that you must complete the same number of days, and that you must magnify Allah for having guided you, so that you may be grateful to Him. These is the translation of Ayah 185 of Surah Al-Baqarah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Shahru Ramadan alladhi unzila fihi al-Qur'an hudan lin-nasi wa bayyinatin min al-huda wal-furqan. فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصمه ومن كان مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر ولتكملوا العدة ولتكبروا الله على ما هداكم ولعلكم تشكرون. We are being told in this verse that the month of Ramadan is a month of extreme greatness. It is a month of blessings, a month of mercies, as Quran was revealed in this month. Quran was revealed as a source of guidance for mankind and to differentiate truth from falsehood. Then it is being said that whoever finds the month of Ramadan must fast for the whole month. If one has a valid excuse, he or she is exempt from observing these fasts. For example, if one is ill or is traveling, one can miss these fasts. One must, however, make up for these fasts in same number later. That is, one must observe the same number once the excuse has disappeared. Allah has given this privilege only because Allah wants to be kind towards mankind and does not want to be harsh to them. So, no matter how much gratefulness, appreciation and gratitude we show towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is still not enough for granting us this blessed month of Ramadan and sending the Quran as a guidance to us. Next point is about the permission of copulation with the wife during night in the month of Ramadan. Iftar till dawn time is omitted from fasting regulations. We are being told here that this was not permitted before, but now this restriction has been lifted. From after sunset till dawn, copulation with one's wife is allowed as one has opened his fast. He has started eating and drinking, and fasting regulations have been lifted. Next, we are told that while in i'tikaf, one is not allowed to copulate with his wife. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. أحل لكم ليلة الصيام الرفث إلى نسائكم هن لباس لكم وأنتم لباس لهن علم الله أنكم كنتم تختانون أنفسكم فتاب عليكم وعفى عنكم فالآن باشروهن وابتغوا ما كتب الله لكم وكلوا واشربوا حتى يتبين لكم الخيط الأبيض من الخيط الأسود من الفجر ثم أتموا الصيام إلى الليل ولا تباشروهن وأنتم عاكفون في المساجد تلك حدود الله فلا تقربوها كذلك يبين الله آياته للناس لعلهم يتقون. It is made lawful for you to have sexual relations with your wives on the night of fasting. They are a garment for you and you are a garment for them. Allah knows that you used to deceive yourself, so He turned to you and forgave you. So now have sexual relations with them and seek that which Allah has ordained for you, and eat and drink until the white thread of dawn appears to you, distinct from the black thread. Then complete the fast till nightfall, and do not have sexual relations with them while you are in i'tikaf, confining oneself in a mosque for prayers, and in vacations leaving the worldly activities in the masjids. These are the limits by Allah, so do not go near them. Thus does Allah make clear His verses to mankind that they may have become the pious. Surah Al-Baqarah, verse number 187. In this verse, we are told that before this revelation, people were having marital relationships with their wives secretly during the nights. Allah is aware of their affairs. Now Allah has given them the permission to go close their wives during nights and has forgiven their mistakes and shortcomings. Also, we are being told that one cannot have marital relationships while in the state of i'tikaf. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the ability to complete all the fasts of Ramadan and give us the ability to fulfill all the obligations of fasting so that we can attain the purpose behind it. Ameen Ya Rabbil Alameen. Take care of yourself. Glory is to you, O Allah, and praise is to you. I bear witness that there is none worthy of worship but you. I seek your forgiveness and repent to you. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.